This is the briefing video for the 8th of April 2024 meeting. Fairly short number of items, always a few things that could be controversial. I always figure that there's going to be some things that I think are going to be controversial that won't be controversial, and some things that I think won't be controversial that will be controversial. I don't know if I've ever been wrong. So this beginning part is fairly normal in how we open them. Two major differences. One is that there's a Parks and Recreation Committee report because the first meeting was held. Now, normally that would be given by Michael as one of the board trustees. He's not going to be at this meeting. He sent me the information and I put it in the packet though, so I'll just briefly mention that at the meeting. And the other thing is that there is not a maintenance and grounds report. We don't have a head of maintenance and grounds right now. I thought about writing one up, but really the update is that we're in the hiring process for heads of maintenance and grounds. And so I left that off. Then once we get past the first public comment, decision items, it's mostly land sale stuff. We have a land bid opening for East Street. That's that 1 acre piece in Twin Lake that was set at a minimum of $8,000. We have a land sale request on East Lakewood Road, so different parts of Lakewood Road. Some of those roads that aren't continuous get a little confusing. That's the piece off of Staple. And this is the first meeting for that. So just looking at if we're selling it, how we're going to come up with minimum. Next is the road grind contract that came in about $2,000 more than I was thinking initially. Still not bad overall. Next, we have the land sale request on Lakewood Road and Russell Road. So that's a little below the village. This is our first one since we changed the policy that if you're over 10 acres, we want a proposal on what direction you're going with use and development. And so the request that came in here is Leatherman Builders, and they're looking at putting in houses. I think that would be, it's obviously what they do, and they think that would be the best use for the township because of the housing shortage. So they're going to make that case, right? And then we'll see if anyone else puts in a proposal in addition to that. Next, we have the Thunderbird time extension. We've seen that last few years. It's gone through the Planning Commission, but the board actually holds control on that, so we're seeing it again. Next, we have one discussion item, and this is about adjacent board email and pay. So we haven't done this in the township. If anyone on the Planning Commission or the Zoning Board of Appeals or now the Parks and Rec, if before someone like that had done something, we appreciate it, but it's basically volunteer. Otherwise, we have staff or the executives do the various tasks in between the meetings. But we have one member, Randall, he was doing more with that, the Christmas tree in 120, drawing up the request for proposals, looking at a number of contractors. And so he was inquiring on how exactly that works. If he gets assigned an email, if he gets paid for that time. And I said, it's not normally how we do it, and we don't have a policy on it, so I could bring it to the board for discussion. I think there's upsides and downsides to that, so that'll be part of the discussion. And that's what we have for the meeting. So decently short number of items, few things that could generate a decent amount of discussion. If anyone has any questions, thoughts, ideas, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out. My email is supervisor@daltontownship.org. Which actually we have daltonmi.gov. It took quite a bit to get approved for the .gov thing. I had to put in a lot of personal information for our government to get approved for a government website. But we have that. We might be adding on those emails in the future. As of now, still supervisor@daltontownship.org. And then direct line at the office is area code 231-332-6700. Otherwise, this is Jeff signing off until the meeting.